Hi everyone, we're back down at the allotment this morning. It's quite frosty this morning, but luckily nothing's been too badly affected as none has settled on the ground or in the beds. As you can see, the onions are coming up quite nicely. There's more coming up now through the bed from last week. As you can see, little shoots, some more coming up here. So they'll just continue to come through. Don't see any major signs of digging. There's a big hole back in the back there, so we'll just fill that back in and then check on that when we come back again. If you just take you around to the beans, there's nothing coming through in the beans at the moment. There's just a few weeds that have come through, but don't see any signs of anything growing as yet, so we'll just check that when we come back again. That might just take a little while to come through. The shard is, some of the older leaves are starting to die down, but as you can see, newer leaves are coming through, so we'll probably get more shard as the months go on, because that does grow through the winter. The bed that he planted the garlic in, you can see a few starting to come up, and then a few weeds as well, so we'll just take out the weeds just to make sure that they have a chance to come through. The beetroot that's still there, we might take those out because they might have finished growing by now. So we'll take those out, do some weeding in this bed and just bring those home with us. Still got some more shard in this bed here. Looks like slugs have been eating the leaves. We might just cut that back just to get rid of some of the older leaves that the slugs have been eating and just go through this. The runner beans, we cut this back last week, but we spoke to D. He's in Jamaica now. We just spoke to him on the phone and he said we can pull these out, and then when he comes back he'll rebuild the trellis just to make it a bit straighter and a bit sturdier. Got some more garlic back here. This seems to be doing okay. When we did the weeding last week, it looks like there hasn't been that many more come back through. So we'll just do some light weeding to get rid of these few that are in here, and that should be fine. Last week when we came, we forgot to take up the broccoli, so we'll cut that out this week. It looks like it's starting to sprout, so we'll just take out the good ones and then chop back all the dying leaves, and then this bed should be a bit clearer, so some might come through, and then we'll be back with you. This is one of the Cape gooseberry bushes that is behind where the runner beans are. These are still growing. They don't seem to be dying back yet. There's a few that are starting to turn colour, though they look like they might be rotten or ready to come off. Don't know if something's got onto those ones at the bottom here, but the plant seems to still be in flower, so we might get some more from this bush. There's another bush just around here we'll take you to go and see. So this is the bigger one. So they're still coming through. You can see they're still flowering. So they might continue to flower even though it's getting colder now. But you can see the flowers coming through still, and more are starting to grow. So this one looks like it's getting bigger. So that's not ready to die back yet. We don't see any that are ready. You can see some smaller ones starting to come through. So we'll just keep going through this. Some have started to drop down. They look like they're rotten, so we'll just leave those there for the birds. You can see more shard here. This one looks like the slugs have definitely got to this one. So we might cut out the more rotten leaves and just give this a bit of a tidy up. Back here, this was the sprouting broccoli. It looks like something's got to the leaves here. I don't know if it's a fungal infection or just slugs. But we might cut some of those leaves back just to make the bush look a bit healthier and get rid of any of the more rotten leaves. The cabbage, we also forgot to take that up last week, so we'll take those out just to make sure nothing gets to those, as it looks like some of the leaves around it are starting to rot. So we've got bags this time so we can take those home with us. This is still the sprouting broccoli. We might cut back some of this as it doesn't look like anything's really growing. But when we spoke to Dee, said that it might grow through the winter, so we might just cut back some of the more decayed leaves and then leave the fresher looking ones here. We'll just take you through to the polytunnel so you can have a look what's going on in there. So in the polytunnel now, we've got some spinach here. Dee said we can cut this back and take that out since it looks like it's done and growing now. That's really starting to die down, so we'll just pull out all of this and clear that out. These beds are mostly empty, so we can plant some things in these beds once you get some more seeds in this planting season. We have got a few carrots to plant in here, so in one of the beds we'll just put in some carrots, and when we take the other carrots out and just use the soil from those buckets, this is one of the beds that we're going to use. You can see the peppers, they're still coming up, so we'll take out the red ones and bring those home with us and just leave the greener ones to see if they mature up a bit more. The dragon fruit, that's still growing. We weren't able to get anything to straighten that as it looked like it might snap, so we're just going to leave that. You can sort that out when he comes back. The lemongrass is still coming up really well, so that should be okay. It does stay quite mild temperature in here, so it shouldn't be too bad. We'll just take you over to the other garlic bed. This one's doing okay. The weeds haven't started to come back through as heavily, but they're still growing up. You can see some new shoots coming up through the soil, so we should get quite a lot of garlic for next year. Over here is more garlic. This side is just weeds, he hasn't planted anything there. This side is where the garlic is, so we'll just take out any leaves, any weeds, and give that a bit of a tidy up. So that's our jobs for today. We'll come back to you once we've harvested the cabbage and the broccoli and show you how much we get. Hi everyone, so we've just finished clearing out some of the broccoli. We've cut back some of the more decayed leaves, so you can see there's quite a lot of space here. Some of the broccoli is like kind of rotting down now, so I don't think that will come back up. There might be a few pieces still left when we come back again, but there's not much left here now, it's just the decayed leaves. Quite a lot of snails you can see have gotten to it. This is starting to flower, so we're just going to leave those. They might spring back up again, we don't know, but if not, that's fine. We can just cut those back. We've done a bit of weeding in here, so that's all cleared up. We can leave that for now. We've taken down all the runner beans, so we've just cleared up all this trellis, and you can see there's not much for D left to do here. Once he comes back, he can just take down the trellis, straighten it up a bit as it's starting to lean. As you can see, that should be okay through the winter, and then when he comes back in March, he can sort that out. We've cleared up some of these pots, got rid of the dead vines. You can see there's even more Cape gooseberries growing through them. They're still growing up quite strong. Some new ones are coming through. They're still flowers. So we'll just check on those when we come back through. These ones up here look like they're starting to ripen, so we might have to take those down. I've got these ones underneath. I'm not sure what this bush is, but it looks like something's got to that, as you can see from the leaves. It might be moths or caterpillars have got into this one. So we might just leave that or cut back some of the leaves that look worse off. Just take some of these off and go through that. You can see the tomatoes, they're starting to die back. I don't think they'll grow anymore. Some are turning red. We might just pick off a few of those, or we'll just leave those and just cut back the dead leaves. You can see the cho-cho, that's still growing up quite strongly. It still hasn't started to die down yet. So we'll just cut back any dead leaves and just leave that as it is. The beetroot, we're going to pull up some of this. A friend of my mum said that she'll take some of it, so we'll just take up what's left here. If there's any bigger ones, I'll just take all of those out and then just leave any of the smaller ones in there. They might be fine through the next couple of weeks. We're just going to get on to clearing up the shard. We're just going to cut back some of these like more dead leaves that are rotten down and clear out this, and then we'll be back with you. So we've gone through the shard and cleared out all of the rotten leaves that we could see. There are a few underneath, but they should be okay to just rot down, and then the rest of the shard should be fine. We've cleared up this bed as well and just got rid of any of the more rotten looking leaves and the ones that looked more eaten by the slugs. We might throw some slug pellets down in here just to get rid of them, as we have seen quite a few as we've been clearing out. We went through the beetroot and took some out. We did manage to get a few of the beetroots, so they'll go to my mum's friend. We went through the cabbage. We did check through them, but only one was good. The rest of them unfortunately had a lot of slugs and snails through them and were quite eaten through to the middle. From the broccoli, we did get quite a bit of broccoli from those stems, so we'll have that for our dinner. These we've gone through and just cleared out any of the more dead vines, so they should be fine to come back up again. We'll just take you round to the broccoli, sorry, to the cabbage. So we've cleared out this bed, so that's all clear now, so when D comes back he can plant what he wants in here. There might be a few stems, so he'll just have to dig those up, or we'll get around to that afterwards. We've still got this bush to go through, so we'll do that and then we'll be back with you. Okay, so we've just cleared out this sprouting broccoli, I think D said it was. We just got rid of the more decayed leaves. As you can see, there were quite a lot through here. As we were going through, we did find some purple cabbage, but it looks like something got to them, as most of them had already kind of been eaten away, or some of them had powdery mildew in them. You can see there's another one here, but as you go through it they're quite small and it looks like something's got to them. I don't know if it's mealy bugs or just like the mildew is set into them, so they're unfortunately no good. We'll just clear this up and clear out any other leaves. So this was quite a big bush, so we've just gone all the way around. We found some more shard as well, so we've just cut out all the rotten leaves, taken up any of the powdery cabbages that we found, as they were too far gone to save. There's quite a bit of light now left in this bush. It's starting to brighten up a bit now, so we might get some bright weather today. I know the forecast is set to rain for some more days of this week, and we're set to get some frost as well. So we'll come down again this week and just go through and check on everything. But this is what we've done for now. We're going to go to the polytunnel next and clear out in there the spinach, and then we'll be back. Hi everyone, so we're just in the polytunnel. We've picked off some of the chili peppers. Got quite a lot here, so there's some jalapenos, there's some Scotch bonnets, the smaller ones, these ones, the label says they're also jalapenos, but they're not growing any bigger than this. There's quite a lot on the bush, but there's not that many that are actually big like this size, so we might leave those, or we'll take off what we can because the bush looks like it's starting to rotten down. So we might just take off those and then clip back some of the vines. We've just gone through one of the buckets of carrots. You can see it does look like something has got onto those, as a lot of them are rotten and eaten through, which is a shame because some of them were quite big. So we'll just empty out this bucket, make sure there's no more in here, and then Dee can keep the soil. I've got another one to go through here, so we'll just pull this one up as well because he thinks rats were in this. So we'll just take out all of these and keep that. We'll just tidy up some of these other ones, get rid of any rotten leaves and any weeds, and then they should be fine for Dee to plant what he wants to in here. We're going to put some carrots in here, but we might do that when we come back next time because we've still got the spinach to clear out. And then once we've gone through that, then we'll be back with you. Hi everyone, so we've dug up the spinach. It's been there for quite some time, as you can see. The roots on it are quite thick. They almost kind of look like parsnip. Luckily they don't smell like them. But these have been in there for over 2 years. So Dee said when he comes back, he'll just replant the spinach. Quite a lot of it came out. So we've cleared up those beds. We've also cleared out the bed that the carrots were in. So most of those have come out now. So I'm just going to replant a few carrots in one of these beds. These ones are empty, so when Dee comes back, he's just going to plant through them. There's also some stray beetroot in some of these beds, so they might come through. As it's still quite warm in the fridge, I know it hasn't gotten cold in here yet, so beetroot might continue to come through. We're going to just cut back some of these chilli stems, as some of them are rotting down anyway. So we'll just chop those off, just cut it back a bit because it doesn't look like any more are going to grow on there. Still got some strawberries here, doesn't look like any are on the vine, but they're still growing up. As in, there is still pretty warm, the temperature hasn't dropped yet. Can't see what the temperature is, but oh, it's 12 degrees in here at the moment, that's Celsius. So it might be okay in here over the winter, but we'll come back maybe once or twice a week just to check on anything. If it's raining, we might not come as often because the things outside are mostly dying down now, so there's not a lot to do, just weeding. So I'm going to just plant some carrots. So that's our last job for today. So thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.